All right. Well, welcome back to another PD Active class. My name is Stephanie, and we are working on gait-related exercises, pulling together all of the concepts. Go ahead and stand up if you're not already. Pulling together all of the concepts that we've learned over the last couple weeks into one single class. So we've talked about hip rotation, this rotation in our femur joint. Let's go ahead and as you're standing, you can either hold on to a wall or in the chair and just work on rotating the thigh bone inside and out. Okay. Again, just reminding us of some of the concepts that we learned. So rotating in and out, kind of doing the jig. Make sure it's not just your foot going in and out, but really, truly your thigh bone rotating in and outward. Okay. We'll do that maybe 3 or 4 more times. So getting that association with your brain. What is that like in your femur? And then let's go ahead and do the other side. So internal rotation where the femur, the thigh bone is rotated in, and then external rotation where the thigh bone is rotating out. So internal rotation, external rotation, internal rotation, external rotation. Sometimes it's helpful to have your hand on your thigh. So again, if you want to use your chair for balance, having your hand on your thigh or mimicking the movement of your thigh with your hand sometimes is nice. Yeah. Nice. And then again, using your chair or a wall if you need to. We also talked about hip extension. So this idea of bringing your leg behind you or having your leg trail behind you. So let's just work on that. So bringing the knee in and then pushing it back as far as you can. Bringing it in, pushing it back. And if you want, you can put your hand on your booty to help you feel the muscles underneath your butt cheeks contracting. Yeah. Again, bringing that map into your brain. What does it feel like to bring your thigh bone behind you? So that way, when you're stepping, you're not just stepping with your legs in front of you. You're actually getting a stride. Yep. Switch to the other leg if you haven't already. So stepping back. Leg going back. Nice. Just working again, bring that brain map in. Good. And last 1 or 2 on that side. Good. And then last week we talked about reciprocal movements, meaning your your left hand and your right leg doing something together. And then your right hand and left leg doing something together. So let's go ahead and just do a little crossbody patterning. If you need to hold on to the chair, you can just do the one side and then we'll switch. Yep. Doing crossbody patterning. Yeah. And you can also do this exercise seated in a chair. If that makes more sense for you, you can do it seated in a chair also. Nice, team. Look at that balance, Alana. Nice work. Yeah, let's do 4 more, 3 more, 2 more, and last one. Okay, so we had those 3 components: rotation in the hips and thigh. We had hip extension, and then cross-body reciprocal patterning. We're going to go through all those concepts again today on the floor and in standing exercises. But first, you're going to do a lap around your space. Go ahead and walk around your room and take note of how your gait feels at this moment. Note in your brain 1, 2, maybe 3, if you have the bandwidth, characteristics of your gait at this moment. How does your stride length? How long of a stride are you doing? What is the sound of your gait? Where do you have to look when you're walking? Can you look up or do you need to look down? Are your feet shuffling or are you actually picking them up and then articulating through the foot when you step? What about that arm swing? We talked about that last week. That hip rotation will inherently give you arm swing. So if your arms are swinging naturally without effort, that means you're getting hip rotation. Okay, So just note in your brain 1, 2, or 3 characteristics of your gait. And we're going to go through some exercises and then we'll check back in with those characteristics at the end of class. Go ahead and make your way down to the mat or down to your floor space. However you want to get there, using a chair, kneeling, and depending on how quickly you get down onto the mat, you might get there before the rest of the team. So you're just going to do that holding pattern of letting your knees go from side to side while we wait for everyone to get settled. Yeah. Great. And as I've mentioned in the past, if you would like critique or feedback in your movement, just make sure that your camera is in a position that I can see you. I understand that there's kind of a catch between being able to see me and then also having the camera far enough away. So pick your battles. Which one has more value for you? Yeah. Good. All right. Looks like everyone is roughly headed down on the ground. Maybe your dogs have joined you. From here, let's just cross your right leg over the top of your left thigh. So you have the foot resting on the top of the thigh. For some of you, this may already be a nice stretch on some of the hip rotators. If you need a little bit more stretch, you're going to bring that supporting leg, your left leg, up and wrap your hands around your thigh for a little extra stretch. And then just go ahead and rock side to side. There you go, Paul. Nice. In there. And just rock side to side. Good. Getting that outside of your hip. Stretch. My pup's nudging me. You're on the floor. Why aren't you petting me? Go ahead and switch to the other side. So start with both feet flat. Left leg crosses up on top of the right thigh. Carrie, I didn't think you were coming today. And then if you need a little bit more stretch, just grab that thigh and pull it in. Hi, Carrie. You made it today, huh?
Yeah, my dentist canceled.
Of course. Okay, well, glad you could make it.
Thanks, me too.
All right, we're just getting started. Carrie, if you haven't already done so, go ahead and just do a lap around the space to take the note of your before gait and then pop down on the floor. All right, and then let both feet go down on the mat. So we just did a little bit of rotation work for the thighs. We're going to continue doing some rotation work for the thighs. Have your feet go wide on the mat if they're not already. You're going to let the knees come in towards one another so they almost become kind of knock-kneed. So sorry for the view, but it'll look sort of like this, where the knees drop in. And then the knees are going to go out to the side. And if you want to draw the feet closer together to let them go wide, go wide. So you're going to go knock-kneed and then wide. Okay. Knock-kneed and then wide. And with that, you're going to get internal and external rotation of your femurs. We talked about that. Internal and external. And again, if doing 2 legs at the same time is out of the bandwidth today, just do the 1 leg at a time. You can just let the knee drop in and then let the knee drop out. Yeah. Again, working on rotation. Let's do one more. Switch sides if you haven't already. Just get that other side real quick. Assessing a mobility on the right side versus the left side. And then plant those feet again so that they're flat on the ground. Let's bring them a little bit more narrow so they're right underneath your sit bones for bridging. Palms are facing up and the collarbones are open wide. Press your hips up towards the ceiling and pause here in that hip extension. So the hips are high and you're standing on your feet. Take a quick note of how your feet are laying on the ground and interacting with your mat. Do you feel like your toes are up in the air and all of your weight is in the heel? Or can you weight through the balls of the feet a little bit more and maybe even lift your heels up? Go ahead and lower the hips down to the mat. You're just going to tap the tail on the floor and then press into your next repetition, pushing the hips high, standing through your feet. Again, taking notes. Do you have your whole foot engaged in this exercise, or is it your toes kind of left in the dust? Okay, so keeping the toes engaged. Bring the hips down, press the hips up. Let's work up and down for a few of these bridges. Hips drop down, hips press up. Again, always making sure that those toes are engaged. Love it. And asking yourself, what aspect of gait are we working on right now? I know you're all on mute. I don't expect me to hear your answers. We're working on hip extension. The thighs going behind us, the hips coming forward, the booty work. Let's go 2 more of these bridges. I'm getting tired. Maybe you are too. And return. Nicely done. We're going to roll to your side facing me. Go ahead and just kind of bail off. And you can make a pillow with your bottom arm. And we're going to take your top leg and straighten it out and slide it forward towards me. And I'm going to be referencing top leg and bottom leg because some of us are facing this way, some of us are facing this way. You're going to swing that top leg out and around, and it's going to come behind you. It'll look something like this. At some point, you're going to bend the knee, pull it forward, and kick out in front again. So it's like you're riding a really big bicycle with this leg here. So it's going to sweep back, pull, kick through. And of course, you're going to have to do this little jump moment right there where it crosses over the top of the foot, right? Good. Try to keep your foot on the floor the whole time, which may give you rug burn or yoga mat burn. Obviously, I don't want you to get skin abrasions, but that's the idea of kind of that contact, the tactile cueing of the floor on your feet. Can you reverse the direction? Backward pedal, kick back, sweep forward, pull in and across. There you go. Nice, Susan. The trickier to go backwards. Last 2. And last one. Very nice. Let's do a little bit of upper body and lower body connection here. So you're going to stretch the top leg and the top arm away from each other as far as they will go. Oh my gosh, like someone pulling you in opposite directions. Not feel good. It's like a body yawn. Oh, I just needed that. And then we're going to bring the knee and the hand or the elbow. So either the hand or the elbow, and they're going to make it some sort of relationship. Yep. Stretch out as long as you can. Someone's pulling on your limbs in opposite directions, and then make the connection. Yeah. Good. Make the connection. Nice. Make the connection. Good. We didn't explicitly go through this relationship, this pattern in gait, but this is sort of this understanding of like same side hand to knee. This is kind of the precursor for the cross body connection. So we're priming our nervous system for the cross body connection. Let's go 2 more. Yeah, last one. Perfect. Return, leg long again. Now we're going to go leg forward, top arm backwards. The arm's going to sweep past your hips. Leg is going to sweep behind you. This time we're going to keep the leg long the whole time, so no bicycles. So arm and leg are going to go in opposite directions. Sweep the arm forward. I'm sorry, sweep the leg forward, arm goes back, and then vice versa on the way forward. Let's go ahead and move through that. And you can pick a little bit more of an upbeat tempo, kind of something that would mimic the pace that you would walk or jog even for some of you. And then let's keep your eye gaze forward. Lock your eyes in on something. It's probably going to be low to the ground. That's kind of on the horizon of where you're looking at right now. And this is going to give you just a little bit of that vestibular training of your body moving in space, your head turning a little bit, but your eyeballs are forward. 2 more. And last one. Excellent. Nice job. From here, bend those knees in. We're gonna press off the floor and come into your twisted sit. And if that was challenging for you, don't worry. We're gonna work through that a few times, that transition, coming all the way down to the mat, onto your side. This arm's just gonna reach up towards the ceiling, bring it down, push through the hand and slide the other one in place. Nice, just working on that transition. How smooth can you make it? Push and float. Awesome. Down. Yeah. Push and float. That's it, Paul. And then return. Go through that a few more times. We're going to go for about 15 more seconds worth of this. So depending on how quickly you're moving, that will determine the number of reps. That's why we do time intervals. One more time and then come up into that twisted sit and stay there. Good, twisted sit and stay there. For good measure, push up. We're gonna come down, bend the elbows. You're gonna bring your ear to the ground and look towards me. And then push the ground away and look the wall that would be in front of you. Rotate your head and look towards me, or look towards your spot that we did earlier. And then push the ground and then look kind of beyond your mat. Let's do that a few more times. Rotate the head and then push and look forward. Okay, this is that, again, some of that vestibular work where your environment or what you're looking at changes with the movement. How quickly does your body adjust to the new gaze? That's it. One more time. Amazing. And you're up. We're going to switch to the other side. So the legs are sort of going to unfurl and you're going to rotate through. The legs will go to the other side. We're going to start all the way down on the mat and go through that same sequence on this side. Okay, so your knees can be bent a little bit. That's fine. Make a pillow or use a real pillow for your head on this bottom side. And you can have your hand in front for a little bit of stability. We're going to start with that bicycle. So you're going to bring the leg forward, excuse me. Sweep it down and around your other leg. Hold it behind you and then kick it forward. Okay. And then just kind of a different angle for you to see. Getting hip extension. I want you to really work the thigh behind you. You should feel a stretch in your thigh at some point in that cycle. I'm like hitting my little ledge there, which is good. It's like telling me that I've got a little target. Yeah. Yeah. And if you're on a yoga mat, you can maybe say, I want to pull my leg back so far that my foot goes off of the yoga mat onto the hardwood floor. And then it revisits, it goes into the hardwood floor in front of me. It goes into the hardwood floor behind me, something like that. Mm-hmm. Switch the direction of your circle. So you're going to kick back to the surface behind you off your mat. Sweep it forward, hold it in, kick it back. Oop, don't kick your dogs. He like wants to be near me, but hates being in the path of destruction. Yeah. Last two. And last one. Excellent. And then return. We're going to now do leg, top leg is straight, top arm is stretched. Imagine someone pulling your limbs apart here. Going to create lots of length in the whole side body, elbow to hand or elbow to knee, make a connection there. And then stretch out, reach, make the connection. That's it. Leg is going to come sort of out to the side. So if we were to microanalyze this, we're also getting rotation. The knee is sort of rotating open, the knee sort of rotating closed when you go out, yeah? Love it. Exhale on the pole. You can pair your breath with it. It's like a metronome. Let's do about 5 more seconds worth. You got it. And then pause. Let's do that arm swing with the leg swing. The leg's going to come forward. The arm goes back. Maybe the torso rotates too. Hopefully a little bit of both of those. Swing and stretch the arm forward. Swing the leg and stretch the arm back. Swing the leg, stretch the arm forward. Swing the leg, stretch the arm back. Excellent. Eyes are forward, looking at something that's close to the ground, kind of on that level, right? You're on the ground. And letting your head turn, your torso turn, your body twist. The arms are moving in opposite of each other. The limbs are moving opposite of each other. We're in reciprocal gait pattern here with that vestibular challenge of moving while keeping your eyes locked. Okay. Cool. This is like the rudimentary gait work. Can't get more rudimentary than this. You're lying on the floor, mimicking walking. What's that line? I don't know if you saw that movie, Pitch Perfect. Horizontal running. Yeah. Last one. Excellent. Bend your knees in. Press with that front arm, push up and slide that other arm into place. It's okay if it was a little floppy. We're going to do a few more. Slide the arm that's furthest away from me. It's just going to slide out and you're going to lie and reach your arm up towards the ceiling. Working on the transition. Hand comes down, push off, pull up, eyes go beyond. When you come down, you're going to look at me. So you're already priming for your push-up. Push down. Beautiful. And do not feel like you need to go at my pace. You can go faster than me. You can go slower than me. Yeah, nice. Let's do one more time. Meet me at the top. Separate your hands if you need to, or maybe bring them a bit more in front of you or further out, depending on your range of motion. And we're going to go for the push-up. As you come down, the ear comes to the mat. Look at me. You decide how low you go. And then eyes go up. Okay, so even if it's a little elbow bend, baby elbow bend, I'm cool with that. You're just trying to do a little bit more than last time. I'm just showing you the full range so you know where you're going with it. Yeah, nice. Good. 3 more. 1, 2, and 3. Nice job. From here, you're going to turn yourself around. Sorry, still. And come into your crab position. Big stretch in the shoulders. Open up those collarbones. Maybe rock side to side to get your hands used to that position and that weight. Figuring out, do you like your hands with the fingers facing to the side? Maybe. What about facing in towards your hips? You're like, what? My body go that way? You just tried it though. And then you're going to settle into the direction of your hands that you like. Okay. All right. We're going to shift a little bit into our hands to float your hips up just a slight bit and then down. Good. And then we're going to increase this as we go along. Okay. So if this is your first time doing tabletop bridges, just play with it. If you've done this with me throughout the course, you're going to work to get as high as you can as a big stretch in the shoulders. There you are, team. Nice. And then down. Your eyes are going to go in front of you and then to the ceiling. In front of you and then to the ceiling. Okay. Your eyes are moving with the movement. There you go. All right. And then no flash dance moves here. We want to keep the integrity in the front of your neck. There you go. Push. Let's go 2 more. Hip extension, right? Hip extension. Good. And then return. Stretch your legs out long. And if you want to, forward fold. Maybe take some pressure off your wrists. Take it all out. Yeah. All right. We're going to bring your hands back behind you again. Back prop. Separate your feet if you haven't already. So you're going to be about mat width apart. And your legs can be straight, hopefully. You're going to take your left hand and reach across towards your right knee. or further, depending on how far you can go. Good. And then bring it back and reset. Yeah. Other hand comes across to your knee. Maybe you push off the hand a little bit, see how far you can reach with that arm, and then bringing it in and return. So we have both crossbody patterning and a little hamstring stretch and a little torso stretch. Return. Good. And you could do this seated too. If you're sitting in a chair, if you're sitting on the couch, you can reach down, grab your opposite foot, and then bring yourself back upright. Reach down, grab your opposite foot, and then bring it upright. Yeah. Good. Let's do that one more time, or make yourself even, maybe 2 more times total there. Love it. Hands are going to come now forward onto your knees, and we're going to bring your feet a little bit more narrow. Okay. Depending on your flexibility in this position, you may feel like you're getting knocked off. So you're going to bend your knees a little bit, and you can hold underneath your knees if you feel like you're falling backwards. Okay. If you're able to hold your torso, no hands, do that. I'm just going to show you this option. We're going to start to rock side to side in your position here. Rock side to side. Let me face you. You're just shifting from right to left. Yeah. Ooh. Yeah. Good. Now rock all the way over onto your left side. Your right hip has space, yes? And you're going to push this hip forward like you're taking a step with your right hip, and then plant it. Rock now over onto this right hip. You've now had space and on weightness here. You're going to step that hip forward and sit. So you started to sort of like your sit bones, your butt bones are sort of walking yourself forward. Okay, here we go. Weight shift, sit. I know you're going to travel. You're probably going to go off your mat a little bit. That's okay. Weight shift, push, and then down. Hopefully you're traveling. If you're not traveling, you need to work on getting a little bit more oomph in that hip as it comes forward. Okay, keep going. Weight shift, move. Weight shift, move. And if you want to use your hands on the floor, that's okay too. Do what you need to do, Susan. That looks great. There you go, Carrie, Kenlyn. I'm trusting that you're traveling. That's it. Alana's starting to go out of frame. Everyone's moving. Nice. Good. Once you hit the end of your runway, we're going to go backwards, which I think is harder. Hands can come down behind you if that helps you. Sit bone goes back, weight shift, sit bone goes back, weight shift, sit bone goes back, weight shift, sit bone goes back. Yep, this is called sit bone walking. Is that a good name for it? Call it how it is. Yeah, if you need to use your hands to push off and weight shift, by all means, go for it. Sit bone walking. Nice. Great. So this is helping us understand what happens in our gait without the distraction of the legs. It's like the hips need to be able to mobilize in this way in gait when we're walking. The bigger the steps in your sit bone walking, the more your hips rotate in your gait, your actual gait. Okay. I'm going to take a quick break on that. And we're going to do left leg is going to step out to the side. Hopefully you have space. And then you're going to reach and pull that leg back in. If you need to use your hands, use your hands. Otherwise, use your own hip muscle. Okay, here we go. Other side, out to the side. And then pulling back in. Right. Out to the side. And then bring it back in. Okay, just working on side to side. Out leg. Beautiful. And return. Now, we're going to go into a full circle. Hopefully we have enough space. I'm just going to move though, because I know I'm going to kick my dog. So you're going to go out to the side and then close. Out to the side again. Close. Out to the side again. Takes a lot of weight shifting. Close. And then finish where we started. Good. So this is a nice way to practice some agility without the risk of falling. Yeah. Kind of nice. Let's go the other way. Out to the side. Center. Out to the side. Center. A lot of weight shifting, a lot of hip flexor work. Out to the side. Oh, if you have a dog, you have to step over them. and center and center and center. Pause. Now, we're going to go through that again. One more time, knee stretching. How few pizza slices can you make to get the full circle? Can you do it in 4? Can you do it in 3 steps? How few? 1, 2. Uh-oh, I've got a lot to make up for that. 3. 3. 3 or 4 maybe? Let's go the other way. How few? 1. Oh my gosh. Sorry, Steph. She didn't like that. And 3. Hey, good job. From here, you're going to lay yourself back down. Just take a quick moment because that was a lot of hip flexor work. Yeah, let's stretch those out. Bend your knees up. We're going to do another set of bridging just like we did at the beginning of class. Whenever you're ready, start moving through it. You already know the drill. Feet flat, pressing the hips up. Yep, working on hip extension. Again, this is like the most basic form of hip extension that you can do. So good. Working on stretching out your hip flexors and strengthening your glutes all at the same time. Multitaskers unite. One more time there. And then return. Let your knees go off to the side. Press yourself back up to seated. And get yourself back into your seated position. Legs out in front. I'm going to scoot back a little bit. So I've got a nice runway for my sit bone walking. Yeah, Stella's oh, she's all cozied up on the couch now. Stella's my dog, Paul. I know you're thinking, who's Stella? Yeah. All right. So we're going to go sit bone walking forward, 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 forward. Good. See if you can maybe start to get those arms to move in with it in no specific way. I didn't say how to do the arms, just getting your arms to go. Once you hit the end of your runway, backwards. That's it. Get your arms to help you get some rotation. You can get some momentum in there. Oh, lots of hip flexor work. Yeah. All right, we're gonna go forward again. Little time check. Forward again. This time you're gonna try to do cross body relationship in the forward motion. So it'll probably go a little slower to start. So that means when the right hip goes forward, it's actually the left hand that's going to touch the knee. It's going to feel funny at first. When the left leg goes forward, the right hand crosses over and the left hand goes back. Okay. Give yourself a little like brain thing going on. Like, what am I trying to do? Weight shift, step, touch. Weight shift, step, touch. Weight shift, step, touch. Opposite handed knee. Opposite. So whichever one is stepping, you're touching forward. Stepping, touching forward. There you go, Susan. Stepping, touching forward. Stepping, touching forward. Stepping, touching forward. Good. When you get to the end of your runway, I do not want you to go backwards. I want you to do that little spin move. Swing your legs around. Good. Reset yourself. Cool. Same thing. Cross body. Weight shift. Step with the sit bone. Touch. Weight shift. Step with touch. And if you find yourself getting mixed up and you're like, I'm touching the same side of the thing, just remember that same-sided movement is a precursor to cross-body movement. So it just may mean that you're kind of in that phase of your gait training right now, of your brain. Where am I? Very good. Nice job. All right, find yourself back in the center or, where we started. Let's do a little Z-sit work. So we're gonna have the legs drawn in and swung to the left. And just like kind of suck back. And if this is hard to get into, remember your handy dandy pillows underneath your booty. And then you have lots of space for that Z-sit. Okay. You have your hand out to the side, your right hand out. Hip bone is going to roll towards the opposite knee pit. Yep. And then roll the sit bone back to where it came from. Nice. Yep. And forward. And then back. Good. And remember, this has everything to do with the rotation in that femur joint and maybe a little bit of extension in that left side. So if this is hard for you, that's probably going to come up in your gait, that you're not getting that hip rotation. But again, an isolated way to help support that mobility in the Z-sit right here. Let's go 2 or 3 more. You got it. And then we're going to switch to the other side. Bonus point, no hands. Nice. We've been working on that. Good team. Look at that. Wow. I think everyone did it. Well, I don't know. I didn't see Alana's hand. Did you do it without hands, Alana? Yeah. Penlin, I'm sure you did too. Yeah. Yeah. Nice. Shannon, I'm sorry. You don't have your camera on. Should we trust that you did it without hands? So hip bone to opposite knee pit, trying to get that rotation in your femur. And just be aware that sometimes our body does this where the heart is rotating. That's nice, but it's not quite getting what we're looking for in the hip. So just make sure that that hip is moving, that self-touch, the hand on the pelvis is nice there. So make sure that that's happening. Yeah. All righty. Let's go ahead and come up into tall kneeling position. I'm not going to go through the nuance of that transition. As we know, that's a whole month of exploration. I'm going to just bring my thing up again. So in your high kneeling, you can do these same drills on your knees. I'm going to show them on the knees, but you can do all of the same drills in hands and knees and with your sit bone walking. So if the knees need a break or you don't want to go on the knees at all, sit bone walking it is. Okay. Weight shift side to side. La-di-da. Starting to float a knee. Very good. Nicely done. Great. Weight shifting enough so that you can step forward. Weight shifting onto that side, step forward. Knee walking, go ahead. And we talked about in the past, if you had a big alligator tail, what would that look like? I'm going to swing it. Swing it. When you hit your end of your runway, we're going to go backward. Swing the tail. Swing the tail. Swing the tail. Swing the tail. Make it really big and obnoxious. Yeah, you can see my ponytail moving. Yeah. And we're going to go forward again, at least one more lap. Swing that big alligator tail. Swing it. Swing it. Swing it. Swing it. That's it, Carrie. Yep. Good. And then backwards. Swing. 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 Nice. Yep. Good. From here, hands and knees. Blinky cat cow. Never a bad idea. Always feels good, right? You're going to tuck the tail, round your spine, push the ground away and let your head drop. Release your tail, wind through the spine, bring your heart forward, eyes up. Same. Tuck the tail, round the spine, drop your head underneath you. You can get that vestibular training as well. You're looking through the thighs when your spine is rounded, and you're bringing your eyes up high when you come into extension. The eye gaze mimics the spine movement. If you want flexion, you're going to bring your eyeballs down. you want extension, bring your eyeballs up. So at minimum, you're doing eyeball movement, right? Yeah, feeling the different articulations, the different moments between each vertebrae. Very nice. Let's do one more time. Great. Come on up to high kneel again. We're gonna do knee walking again, or sit bone walking if your knees aren't loving it. We're gonna do reciprocal gait pattern. So as the left leg is stepping forward and the left hip and the leg move together. Remember in sit bone walking, they came together in one piece. They come together, okay? So up, we're gonna go left knee and hip go together, and you're gonna touch the opposite hip. So we talked about last week, this is a counter twist. You're like, oh shoot, I forgot those terms. Counter twist, when the shoulders and the hips are going towards one another. Okay, next step, right hip, right knee. The hand comes across and touches the hip, counter twist. Okay, left hip, right hip, left hip, right hip. Okay, once you run out of space, go backwards. Alligator tail, maybe twisting and winding. Yeah, twist and wind. So as you're going through this, again, we've taken out the variable of kind of your knee and ankle and foot, and we're working on the mechanics of hip rotation and gait. So as you're walking forward now, just like you did in the sit bone walking, it's all about the hip going forward, and then the leg will kind of sort itself out. Don't really worry about what your knee is doing. Focus on that proximal, that hip girdle. So we're gonna go hip, push the hip. It's gonna feel like you're like, ooh, yeah, okay. It's gonna feel like a little like dorky, moving your hips in front of your shoulders. Yeah. Good. And then backwards. Nice. Cool. Once you reset into your back range, we're gonna work on now transitions from high kneeling to split kneel. So weight shifting, definitely to clear space for your knee in order for it to come forward and take the step. Yep. Slide that foot again underneath you. Weight shift to the other side and pull forward. Nice, team. Good. Slide back. Weight shift, pull. Good. You work at your own pace. Go for it. How can we make this a crossbody exercise now? Someone show me. How do you make this a crossbody exercise? Yes, Susan. Nice. I just thought you'd make the move first, but I'm sure other people did. Yep. So we're going to cross the hand over, make a relationship between the right and left side. Yeah. Good. Maybe you start to even like put a little bit of weight into it as if you were going to stand. You're like, oof, yep. Maybe tuck the back toes so that the feet start to get primed and ready to make some moves. You haven't done much footwork today. And then finish on the side that feels right for you. Pause. I should have said this. If you need to scoot over towards a chair or a wall, do that now because we're going to stand up. 1, 2, 3, glide up the stand, step together. Good. Okay. Take a moment, walk around the room. We're going to do one more drill after this, but take a moment, walk around the room, kind of just let your brain reset because there was a lot of stuff going on. Mindless gait. What does your body just do? Let's go into it. Nice. Now, if you know yourself to stumble when you step backwards, maybe corner yourself in a wall or with a couch behind you so you have a soft landing. We are going to work on some back striding, some hip extension. I know you can kind of see my face, right? So right here, we're going to work on stepping back and rotate. So we're going to go left foot. Let's go left foot. Step back first, left foot, and rotate to the left side of your room. Eyes and torso. Now we're going to step forward with that left foot and end up sort of looking on the diagonal to the right. That pivot through the right foot. Good. Now we're going to go back to the left side of the room, step back. It's tricky. So vestibular and balance work and rotation work and hip extension. Yeah. Nice. Looking to the left side of the room and then right kind of forward diagonal. Yeah. Right now you are rotating over your right femur. Like your pelvis is rotating, but you haven't lifted up your right foot. So it's like your right femur is here and your pelvis is going around it. Good. Now, can you do that same exercise and look forward the whole time? But your torso, like the logo on your shirt is still doing the same aim. And if it helps to put your hand on maybe your sternum, feel like my hands and sternum are facing to the left side of the room and then the right diagonal. Looking forward. So now it's vestibular. Ooh, I love that, Kenlyn. Do it. Get it, girl. She's got her dancer flow on. Or maybe it's PWR moves. Huh? Cool. Let's switch to the other side. Kind of shake it out. So we're going to go right foot goes back, rotate to the right side of the room. You can bring your eyes with you. And then step forward and look on left diagonal. Maybe find two objects in the room that help you lock your gaze in for balance. Open and then cross. Yeah, open and cross. Yeah, and I like Kellen's doing like a little like cross body and then open. Cross body and then open. Take your eyes forward once you feel like you have that movement pattern. So your eyes are going to lock in on something in front of you, but you're still taking your sternum in those orientations. Nice. Maybe two more. And last one. Perfect. And then shake it out. From here, go ahead and do a little heel lift. Again, to wake up the bottoms of the feet a little bit more. I know we didn't do a lot of foot stuff today. And if you're feeling good, maybe start to make it more bouncy. Or if you're feeling really good, you can actually leave the floor. Good. Let your body be jostled. Let the rigidity leave you if there's anything left. We're going to go directly from this bounce move, whatever it is for you. We're going to go directly into a step around the room. So we're going to hop for 3, 2, go right into it. Boom. And if you miss the cue, just jump a few times and then go into it. All right. So notice how your gait feels now as it did in comparison to how we started. Thinking about those variables that you took note of at the beginning of class, stride length. What does it sound like? You have to look down. Are your arms swinging? How's your foot articulation? For me, ironically, my feet feel like they're articulating better, but we didn't do any footwork. So, we just know it's all connected. Working on the hip is going to maybe help the feet. Good. And then go ahead and come back to that center place. And close your eyes if that feels right for you. Let your shoulders relax. Take those couple exhales. Audible exhales. Actually called a physiological sigh, like a normal sigh that you would do, but make yourself do it. Continue breathing as you feel your sway, your postural sway moving in and out of your core quadrants or from side to side. And if you don't feel that postural sway right now, let's make that in your body. Give yourself a gentle weight shift from right to left. That postural sway allows us to have forces come into our body, but then they can leave our body. They came, they're not stored in rigidity and tightness and stagnation, letting that energy flow through us. Take a deep breath in, reach the arms up towards the ceiling. Inhale, push up, and exhale, release out. Team, rock on. Nice job. I'm going to turn off the recording, and if you have anything you want to share or feedback for me, happy